guys ever have that one figure that no matter how much you loved it, everything you remember about it just reminds you it was a real pain in your ass? I remember a couple figures being like that when I was a kid with the G.I. Joe line in 82 through to about 88, 89 when I got out. I remember that feeling of like, why? Why is this character so hard to get? Flint was one like that for me. It took me forever to get Flint when I was a kid, but I got him, right? And it was like, how are you so impossible? But the gratification of finally getting him was there. All right. So on today's tactical perspective, I'm going to be talking about a character that hasn't just accomplished that once in the classified line, but accomplished it again in the retro line and given me that pain in the ass feeling, and it was Beachhead. One of my favorite Joes out there, especially with the military experiences I've had, some of the guys I worked with, a guy like Beachhead is desperately needed in my Joe line. And my buddy Aaron the Toy Enhancer, when we first started doing stuff together, he hooked me up with the original Beachhead, and I could never thank him enough for it. It was such a satisfying moment because I've been hunting him for quite a while. And that feeling was there. I was like, man, I don't care what people say about you, bro. Your kit's kind of junk. I can replace the kit, but you're just a cool dude. You're a cool dude, Beachhead. You know it. I know it. Right? Great character. But the kit on the classified variant did not do him any justice at all. Just not great kit. It was disappointing for the adventure that I had getting him. So Retro comes out and they say, we're doing Beachhead. And I'm all excited. I'm like, finally, I'm going to get Beachhead easy. I'm going to get him right. I'm going to get him the way that he was when I was a kid. We're good. Took forever. Like, Cobra Commander's wave came out. Stalker and Cobra Commander came out before I could get Beachhead up here in Canada. Aaron the Toy Enhancer has sent me this and the Tiger Paw, whatever, in the mail, and because I wanted them, and I didn't mind buying extras because I wanted extras. I wanted a Beachhead possibly to give away as a prize, so I was happy to buy one early, and then I'll just put the one aside from that I bought from Aaron away for a prize, because I do want to do some giveaways for passing the 500 mark when the time is right. And you know, we are past that 500 mark. Thank you so much, new subscribers, and thank you old subscribers. We did that. So I wanted to have some giveaway prizes. Once a man Cobra Commander, having an extra Beachhead, if that's what's still coming in the mail, that's great. We'll just build it up, and I'm going to do some giveaways. But what a pain in the ass you were again, Wayne R. Sneeden, you jerk. Took forever to get here. There was some back and forth confusion, but I finally have you. So we are going to open G.I. Joe Retro Series Beachhead. We are going to give them that head-to-toe inspection. Of course, we're going to look at that file card because Retro gives us file cards. And our other buddy, Wayne, is going to get out of the spotlight. So this one can seize it. So one of the things I'm going to do that I don't usually like to do in my tactical perspectives is I'm going to just show you a bit of unboxing on this. Usually I like to do that off camera because it's loud in your headphones, and yeah, it doesn't always go smoothly, and if you have to drop a bit and reshoot, why don't bother? But I wanted to show you some changes to the packaging that I noticed. One change from Hasbro and one change from GameStop, if you guys happen to go to GameStop, okay? And it has to do with how to open retro lines, okay? So because of the extra reinforced cardboard stock, which is not invulnerable in shipping, as I showed you with the Stalker review, his card came right out of the box, very banged up. This one came out pristine as intended. You've got your wave release on the back with the Snow Serpent and the Eel, which I've had for a couple months now. And he was the center release, yet he comes after these two for some reason here in Canada. Okay, I can move past that. What I want to show you is this little tabby tab here is the starts of how you can get this out of the box more pristinely. And if I just cut along here with an X-Acto blade, I'm trying to do it on camera without slicing my leg open or anything. You know, we have a first aid kit on standby. Oh, I'm talking to myself again. All right, so we get that tab cut off, and then you can kind of get at stuff, right? So I can get that little piece of paper out right now, and I can see how to get the slide out. So what I'll do is, instead of cutting everything open, what I usually do is I cut the whole plastic off, but you really don't need to do that. You just need to cut some surgical slits just up the bottom there, because this will release as such, and we can do this. And now you've got a very clean cut retro card. Okay, you can retape that, and you can repackage your guy if you're sick of doing that way, right? You know, just a consideration Hasbro gave to collectors that want to display these in a variety of ways, or keep these for whatever reason, even with the dome, because of the strength of the card. The other thing I wanted to show you was GameStop's new tags up here in Ottawa have changed from their traditional. It used to be they would show you the price the regular consumer would pay, and then down below what their members would pay if they had their platinum or premium memberships. Okay, that membership thing has changed, and as such, a lot of people have not gone to the process of renewing for the new memberships. And so I think what GameStop is doing now is putting it out there so that you only see this price, and they'll have signage in the store reminding memberships get up to 5 to 10% off, depending on the level. And you'll have to ask about what your membership price will be rather than seeing that. I don't know if that's a good move, because a lot of the times it's that saving that drove me to pick up that figure, because I compare what I save at GameStop over a Walmart, or ordering through Amazon, or Toys R Us, or, you know, the long list of others. You know, so that's two changes that happened with the package. Okay, now the front of the package clearly is the old art for Beachhead that we grew to love, and we're very familiar. He's got his machine gun. He's got his number 75, his unit patch ID there, his 75th Battalion. I can't remember what it was. And his mags, his balaclava, and you can see his beret is tucked up there. And unfortunately, he's got that rocket attached to the backpack that told me that, oh God, we're getting a repeat of this kit again, to a degree. All right, because it's the same backpack we got with the first iteration. So some changes have happened with this Beachhead, and you can see them here. I'm going to get them off camera, and I'm going to put them up in some poses, perhaps on a spindle if that cooperates. And we'll talk about what he's coming with, and we'll talk about that file card, give him that head-to-toe review, and call it a day with a play grade, tack grade, and a je ne sais quoi grade, which is French Canadian for I don't know what the hell's going on with this guy, but here's something I noticed. And then we'll just end it on that for the day. If you guys like these kind of videos, I'm going to take this moment now because I'm getting better at remembering earlier. Please like, share, subscribe. I just recently grew this channel past 500 with the help of all of you guys and the dedication to watching this channel grow from something that was very scratchy at the beginning to something a year later has a bit more formulaic, less scratchy result. We're not perfect here. I am not going to be perfect for quite a while, like past death, ever. But I keep trying to get better, and everything I'm seeing on YouTube and the guys I'm talking to is about me educating myself in this toy market, because I love toys, retired military. Why wouldn't I want to have a job about toys? And now that we've reached 500 subscribers, I can announce to you guys, this channel is my job. I love my job. I love my coworkers. So thank you very much. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Let's go see Beachhead, that pain in the ass. And whether I'm happy about how long it took him to get here or not, he's here and he looks great. I do get a great first impression from this figure, but, you know, I really can't get into reviewing him and telling you those impressions until I get that file card out of the way. The ultimate Joe testimony as to who this character is and what he's all about. So we'll just call up the one that's on the back of the retro line. It's not the same, but it's there. And it tells us that Beachhead Stephen Waynar is a ranger. His primary specialty is infantry. His secondary is small arms armorer. So he runs the vaults, Joe, basically. And he's from Auburn, Alabama. Beachhead was a lane instructor at Ranger School and observer advisor at the Covert Ops School in Central America. He's meticulous, patient, and strong-willed. He doesn't get angry, he gets even. And that's all the narrative we get. The rest of it goes on to explain it in French and German and probably Italian and Spanish. But that's all we get when we compare it to the old file cards, which look like this. So special thanks to 3D Joe's for this image, and this one gets into the little bit more weeds of it. For ones, they spell out Alabama. Beachhead was a lane instructor at the Ranger School of Fort Benning and an observer advisor at the Covert Ops School in Central America, just what we saw. He's meticulous, patient, and strong-willed, just like we saw. He likes getting up at 0500 hours to take a 10-mile run and PT session before before breakfast. That's physical training, by the way. He enjoys squatting motionless beside a jungle trail for 3 days, waiting for the ambush guy to ambush the bad guy that might never show up. What he hates is people who aren't interested in doing their best. Qualified expert, all NATO and Warsaw Pact arms. Most folks will get mad on occasion, or at least irritable. Not Beachhead. He thinks anger is a waste of time and energy. Rage clouds the vision and pollutes the logic. Fury impairs the judgment and makes you careless. The results of anger are totally unacceptable to Beachhead. He doesn't get angry; he gets even. I find this weird, considering how they portrayed him in the movie as the jealous type, and the man who's kind of like worried that he's insignificant within the chain of command and that his authority isn't respected. That doesn't gel with what they wrote about him, really. Nonetheless, I'm sure that's all subjective to a lot of debate between the designers and just this nosy crow, and we'll move on. What you're essentially getting is not far different from the original Beachhead, just with a better chest loadout, tighter colors, tighter body, but still the same design, and that chest rig is more synonymous with what we knew him as back in the cartoon and the comic, and as the original action figure had. These upcoming images are from Joepedia and Joe A Day, and they really depict what we had back in the day with Beachhead on our hands. I think I had him just for a short period before I worked out a trade that saw me upgrading to a vehicle by including him into it. But yeah, the darker tone and just the beret tucked away on his vest is the biggest change, as opposed to wearing it. So with the retro line, they've done what they've come to do, which is to make them comic and original, accurate looking. They try to stay away from modernization. They claim that this retro line is not the place for modernization, but you see some modernization from time to time in it. The backpack was the biggest thing. I said, I wish they hadn't carried this over, but this backpack seems to not only fit better than it did on the original Beachhead design with that original vest, the crossbow somehow fits better as well. It's not as, it's still gummy enough, but it's not as bad, I found. Maybe it's just something about the backpack. Yeah, and he gets some extra kit he didn't have originally shown on the box art. You know, he's got this set of frag grenades that we saw with Snake Eyes and the demo charge. We'll just hook that onto the boot knife. Isn't that just great flexibility and adaptation? Anyways, the chest rig is really the big change. I like the chest rig, but you'll see those gray mags. They had to go out of their way to make sure that the rifle he comes with gets a gray mag too, right? And don't get me wrong, that's a great thing that they did color that mag to match the ones on the chest. It's too bad that the paint app of that chalky gray on that chest didn't come out a little bit better. It's kind of again, I'm having a little bit of bad luck with getting clean paint lines. These ones that I've had the last couple of times, especially the Steel Core Commander, I see some really sloppy paint application going on some of this. And then on this chest rig, his mags, again, they look chalky. They look really kind of poor with the paint application. But it's really one of the only paint application issues I have with it. The rest of this, the paint with the beret and just the 75th icon on the side, although I would have liked a black stripe through that icon. You know, these other paint apps are fine. The camouflage on the pants, I would say, has a bit of shine to the green that I wouldn't like to it. But it's hard to notice. You have to be really staring at it. In fact, really, at a distance, you can't even notice those pants have that green on there. And I feel that's a bit of an error, considering the box art kind of makes it look like the pants are much darker than they are here on the figure a little bit. But I think that's also lighting and shadow on the box art some. So as far as posing and flexibility goes, I don't notice that much difference from this one to the original Beachhead, except that he's less encumbered by this new vest. So I would say it's probably better in the torso region than the original was for what it was bringing to the table. I could get a little bit more of a waist bend out of this one. And it's great storytelling figure. Don't get me wrong. I like this figure a lot. This is definitely my preferred Beachhead. As you go down, you can see when they did wreckage with this buck, they painted the zipper. They didn't do that for old Beachhead for this time around. They put all the extra paint app into that 75 patch, his unit patch there, and the chest rig, which I said didn't really work out for color, but it worked out great for design. And then you have these green offset weapons that are to break things up, and it's a softer green than the ones that play with his balaclava and his shirt, but it all gels well. I do love the fact they threw in these frag grenades or these smoke grenades and the demolitions pouch off the Snake Eyes kit. I think that was a good thing. However, there's nowhere really to store those little pieces except to clip them on to the actual strap of the thing, if you ask me. And I always get antsy about the way they were packaged immediately when I unpackaged this. One of those grenades went flying. Thankfully, I found it. But they are small items, and I feel like they should have holster loops or something on the belt every time they're included, just for kids to put them away. Adult collectors are going to lock them in a box, I'm sure. So here we have them, just showing you that you can bend them over and pose them and doing stuff like squats and crouching and what have you. The backpack doesn't offset the weight too much. It's a light backpack with the attachment for the weapon. So I do like how things are stored on this kit. But you'll notice there's no side post to put the rifle on as there was with, say, Airborne or the 60th anniversary. No, wait, 60th anniversary didn't have that, pardon me. Airborne, let's just leave it at Airborne. No post for that. That wasn't added to the mold, right? They did nothing to the mold except maybe use a stronger plastic. He's got two knives, the K-bar handle and the green handle, which are nice little adds, and two sheaths for them, which you gotta have, right? Or otherwise, you have loose knives. And there's no kits in the classified line right now with loose knives, are there? There's no kits in the retro line with loose weapons and knives, are there? Don't be silly. It was all intentional. It's not a waste. And let me be clear on that. Actually, it isn't a waste. It's not like they're giving you big backpacks and helmets and things like that don't belong with your kit. The odd knife and the odd pistol being included in kits that have no place to hold them and aren't even really a part of that figure. They're just there because the molds included them from the original character this kit was borrowed from. I don't mind that because every now and then you'll lose a knife or a pistol when you're out on a photo shoot in the wild somewhere. It's good to have some extras, even if they're not the ones the character was originally to have. Just to put a hilt into the scabbard sometimes is just a breath of relief when you've lost a weapon. So there you go. There's the use that they are gaining with having extra crap. But on this one, like Beachhead, two knives, but the two grenades have to stay on that thing. The demo charge has to be looped over them or held in the hand. The rifle just doesn't have a home unless it's in his hands. And of course, the other weapon that he is coming with that is part of the original part of it all, it was the crossbow. And I'm going on record as having said I'm kind of fed up with the abundance of crossbows that show up in our classified Joe line. As a default weapon, everybody gets one, but they're usually characters that were entitled to one anyways in their originals. But I just feel like they've had such bad original luck with this one. Why, could they have not gotten the one that they did for Scarlet on the new retro line to work with a different backpack for them? I think we would have accepted it if it was an improvement, because they're not holding off on doing that with retro. They have upgraded that stuff. Look at Scarlet, look at Duke. I mean, they have new gear on those kits and they're supposed to be retro. But so the crossbow on this one, serviceable. And of course, he's got those quivers. The quiver is worked into the back of the backpack, which is fine. At least they're noticeable there. But there's no removable arrow to put on the slide or draw back. And I've never understood why he has an anti-armor rocket attached to his backpack for not having a rocket launcher included with him. But I figure that's his rocket-propelled grenade that probably goes on the end of his rifle circa World War II. I felt like maybe that was time to get some function out of this, and they didn't, right? So I feel by not at least changing the backpack a little bit, the retro line kind of wasted an opportunity to make really something cool out of this Beachhead character, more so than just being Beachhead, who was cool, right? And I feel like the backpack was the prime opportunity to do something different, right? Maybe just add some color to the arrows that are fixed there. Add the removable arrow I suggested that goes with the crossbow. Make that rocket have an end like the silencers that we're throwing on the end of the rifles to reflect that it's a rocket propelled grenade, if that's what it is. Or give it some sort of function rather than just sitting there like a dead weight, all one color. That backpack could have used some color for sure. And it's not like it wouldn't have reflected the retro line in the way that they've been doing it before. When you look at the front of the box, you don't see his backpack, and the details could be there. We just don't know. But what I do know is it's getting on that time that I give this thing a grade and sum this up. So for Wayne here, I'm going to give him a tack grade of a 4.5. I really like the kit change with the rifle that they did as a step away from the classified. I like giving them some sneaky covert ops kit like demo charges, some smoke grenades. The silence pistol that we're used to seeing with Stalker and other guys, it's fine. It works for Beachhead. I like the color sets that they worked with, and I like that they tucked away that beret under the shoulder flash there. That's something that was being phased out of the Canadian military when I was getting into it. Was they used to stow that there because we used to wear our rank up there, and I was told you don't do that. Yeah, and we stopped doing that, and then we moved our ranks down to our chest line and our sleeves. So it was just a different way of doing things, but. Overall, I do like this character a lot. So the tack grade, 4.5. I think everything fits. Even a crossbow fits. I just have wishes, right? He's well equipped and well turned out for battle. On a play grade, I'm going to give him a 4.5. Or sorry, a 4. They gave you a lot. Yeah, I wish they could give you more with that backpack or storage and things like that. But they gave you enough for your dollars worth on this one. You get a close combat weapon, 2 knives, the silencer for the close combat pistol that works out, and then you get his close quarters, or not close quarters, you get his airborne type rifle there, that too has a silencer. He's got a crossbow, he's got a backpack, he's got a demo charge, he's got some grenades. You get a lot with this character. So play grade 4. The reason being is because I think the backpack was kind of a cop out on the old designs. They didn't put a lot of focus into it. Really, they just swapped out his rifle for one that people found more palatable. That's overall the play grade change on that. And the rifles are still gummy. And frag grenades, I'm sorry, until they have a place to hold them besides that clip, it's just a losable item that needs a bit more planning. I do like them, though. And I do feel the paint app changes they made to the buck and tightening up that buck were the right decisions. They made this Beachhead desirable again, where in the original Beachhead was desirable, but he became lackluster as you got him in the hands and went through the kit. One thing I didn't mention that I also like about this, and this falls into that play grade again, was the clip and belt set, clip onto his, not clip on, but the harness for his legs and the scabbard and holster set there. The fact that they attach to his belt line keeps them from dropping down, as we see with so many figures in this line. It's an annoyance to constantly have to reset kit back up to where it's supposed to be. So now I got to get into that je ne sais quoi factor, and it's not going to be too high. I don't think there was a whole lot shocking me with this character. It was just more of a sense of relief that it was all over and done with, and we had the proper Beachhead at last. Whether there's going to be a Night Force Beachhead down the line that's going to remind me of this one and be just minor changes again remains to be seen, but he renewed my excitement in the character a bit. Far beyond what the original classified variant of the Beachhead did from the Cobra Island series. So I got to give it at least a 3.5 for the je ne sais quoi factor. There's not a whole lot going on that made me go, wow, with this figure. But I definitely appreciate this figure. I think it's a strong representation of Beachhead at last. And I hope you guys enjoy it. We're going to end now with just a little slideshow with some music and just a little bit of fun with our retro figures. Have a great one, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next Tactical Perspective.
And I'm telling you, I don't care about Beachhead. That's not even a real name. That's just a favor somebody does you under the San Diego Pier for $5. This retro photo shoot will be about me and my amazing helmet and nothing more, you incompetent twats. Where to even begin with you clowns? You know what? I'm gonna start with you, Lady J. I'm gonna tell you a secret. You wanna know why Flint doesn't have a retro figure yet? He's quietly asked to never have one, so that he doesn't have to spend every waking minute beside you like he has for the last 40+ years. And you, Snake Eyes, ever the mute. Yet I know the real reason why you haven't spoken in years. It's been ever since you've hooked up with Puff Daddy and his crew. P. Diddy and his freak-offs have become your new jam. My only question is Scarlett your J-Lo? Hey, are you, you ginger complicit wench?
You can't touch me there. I don't know you.
You fool. I'm woke. I identify as playing pokey chess with you and picking a fight, not as groping with you. Ha ha ha. Besides, your pose is too lazy to stop me. Now on to you, the onlooker, bunghole.
Hey now, son. You know that's gone home. I don't like what you just said.
No, that's fair, and you're a good fit. Hey, listen, on the next version of you think they'll get this right?
Go on right now. The tattoo?
No, the tattoo's fine. I'm talking about the stupid. Look at him. Boop. He just sits there and takes it. Boop. But you're no laughing matter at all.
I'm fucking amazing. Have you seen my hands? Watch what you say.
No, Duke, I'll be civil kind of guy here. Listen, I just want to know, how does it feel knowing that everybody says what ruined the G.I. Joe movie back in the day was the fact that you didn't die? And how about this? Even when they hired Channing Tatum to play you, and you did die, nobody gave a shit. Do you see your relevance here, Duke? Do you? Do you understand that Toys R Us is using you and your Tiger Paw for Tiger Force as doorstops and pallet jacks right now? The fact of the matter is, Duke, the only guy less threatening than you is this guy, Stalker. Oh, he tells everybody he was a gang leader. Yeah, I remember the gang. It was right around the same hood as the Warriors. I believe he was a Jet. Look, Stalker is getting too old for this shit, and you know it. No amount of redeco is going to save him. The only guy that still had some cool left in him was Recondo, but nobody even remembers who Tom Selleck is anymore, so what's the point here? And don't even get me started about that unwashed heathen Beachhead. Oh, God damn it, he's right behind me, isn't he?
He is cooler.